Hey there, wrestling fanatics. I am back for episode number 66, Team Ryry's Wrestling Podcast. I have a guest here. Welcome back. Go ahead, plug your channel.
Hello, everybody. My name is Connor, aka OKFabe. You guys can check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/OKFabe. And, of course, Twitter at OKFabe.
Welcome back. It has been, I think, a couple months or a year and a half.
That sounds about right.
Wow. So it's like a rare appearance like The Undertaker, right?
Yeah, I think that's the only time ever I'll be compared to Undertaker ever in my life.
Ever.
Ever.
Okay, first thing first, let's kick this off.
Cool.
Sid Vicious, Psycho Sid, were you a fan of him back in the day? I mean, I just want to know if you're a fan of him.
Sort of. I mean, it was. He's kind of like Braun Strowman in the sense of he's like the walking scream.
Yeah.
He's just a guy. He just comes in and just like screams and fights, and I kind of dig those characters because they're like, you know, when you see like a classic cartoon villain, and they have like the big meaty muscle guy who just doesn't think and just beat. Yeah, like in some regards, and I'm not trying to sound disrespectful to Sid Vicious. He's actually a very intelligent individual, but I got that vibe from his character sometimes. So I dug it. It was just something because. You know, the thing about wrestling is that you draw into characters and different characters, so he was different.
Oh, yeah. How old were you when they had an incident with that broken leg? Were you a teenager or you were a young adult when that happened?
So, that was what, WCW 98?
I think so. I think it was Thunder, wasn't it? Or was it Nitro? I don't remember.
I can't remember the exact year. So I was just turning, I would have been just turning like 13 in 2000. So.
Okay. I mean, was it like, I thought it was part of the storyline, and it wasn't. He actually broke his damn foot, you know? Wow.
You can't fake that shit, you know? Like, you just can't. There's no way around it.
And, I mean, he had a great moment, him and Hulk Hogan back in the day, and his promos are just off the wall. I don't know if he was on drugs, or I don't know what's the deal, you know?
No, that's what I'm saying about, like, though, his character was so unique, and whether that was an extension of him, his anger, or whatever, but it made him kind of different. Fun fact, Psycho Sid is the only person who has ever competed in both, like, his only two WrestleManias that he's ever competed in were both in the main event.
Oh, wow.
He WrestleMania 8. Was it 8?
Yes.
Yeah, WrestleMania 8 and WrestleMania 13.
Oh, wow.
Both in the main event. Hulk Hogan and Undertaker, yeah, both in the main event. So go figure. Those are the only.
Do you think is Sid Vicious or Sid Justice, is he a future Hall of Famer or no?
I would think so because he had more contributions. You know, he's had contributions outside the wrestling business, but. They've inducted so many people who were never in WWE.
I know.
You know, so I wouldn't be surprised. I think definitely he's a Hall of Famer for the future.
Speaking of Hall of Fame, why WWE always don't? I mean, they bring these guys in who never wrestled in WWE. I don't understand it. Why?
Because they want to appease the pro wrestling fans
and
pay contributions too. It's not like it's funny you bring that up. I was having a discussion about somebody else the other day. So the WWE is not like the biggest pro wrestling Hall of Fame. It's the most known. It's the most notoriety.
Got it.
It's not the biggest. There is a official pro wrestling Hall of Fame.
Oh, really?
But yes, there is. It's an independent. Group. It's an independent institution, but is not recognized by WWE.
Oh.
It's recognized, but majority of the same Hall of Famers are in both. But WWE is the one that gets the most notoriety. It's the one that's known the most.
Got it.
So, right. So it's kind of in that regards, but WWE, and I think rightfully so, acknowledged like people who have never wrestled in WWE. And to be honest with you, given I think the value and appreciation of a lot of old school wrestling and old school wrestling fans, I think they're very smart to do that. I mean, take a look at last year's headliner, Sting.
Yes.
Sting barely competed in a WWE. I mean, he competed obviously after the fact, but like he wrestled Triple H and then Seth Rollins, and that was pretty. I mean, I think he did one episode of Raw. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all Sting did. So obviously, Sting's accomplishments are much more appreciated and much more respectfully deserved because of his run in WCW. And you can kind of say the same thing for Ric Flair.
Yes.
I mean, shit, Ric Flair was inducted twice. Horsemen, the Four Horsemen. The Four Horsemen were never in the WWE, but they are arguably, and in my opinion, the greatest wrestling stable of all time.
All time, even past DX and NWO.
Yep.
Okay.
In my opinion, the Four Horsemen are the greatest wrestling stable of all time.
The original Horsemen, correct?
Well, there's been a couple of incarnations of the Horsemen.
That's what I'm saying.
Favorite, I think it was the second or third, which was Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, Barry Windham, Tully Blanchard. In my opinion, that was the best version of the Horsemen.
Okay, what dream stable would you like to see, but it never happened? You know what I'm saying? Like from the old days and the current? That's what I'm trying to say. Who would you like to see going at it, toe to toe, as a stable versus stable?
If we were to take like any stable,
yeah, from the old days, from the Attitude Era until now. That's what I'm trying to say.
From the Attitude Era.
Okay, from the '80s, you know, the one you just mentioned,
yep.
And then from the '80s or from now. I know we don't have major stables, but you know what I'm trying to say.
No, I know. You say take it like any two fantasy stables, and just if you want to see the. I mean, I guess the big one would be DX and NWO. I think that would be.
Oh yeah.
At the peak. Yeah, because if you did Hogan, Hall, and Nash in a 6-man against X-Pac, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels, sold. Yes. You can't tell me that would not be like. And you know what the sad thing is? They had the opportunity to do that. I think right in 2002. Yeah, they had the opportunity to pull that trigger. They could have done that. So imagine putting that on a Survivor Series card.
Yeah, but wasn't X-Pac part of both stables? So how can that work?
Yes, X-Pac is the only person who is officially recognized. I mean, you could count Shawn, but Shawn was in the WWE version. But X-Pac is the only person who was in both DX and NWO.
Got it. Another thing is, were you a fan of Spike Dudley back in the day with the on his own or part of his brothers back in the day?
Spike's a tough guy. I've met him in person. I've met Spike Dudley in person. He's a very nice, intelligent individual. I was more of a fan of. You're asking if I was more of a fan of him separately or with the Dudleys?
Yes, correct.
Kind of tough call because both of them had great moments. Like,
yes.
There were cool things about, like, what I really liked was, and I wish they went a little further with it, was when Spike was the boss and he was, like, ordering the Dudleys around. And
yes,
like,
I love that.
Yeah, that was kind of my favorite because he was a real dick and it was just really funny. But, I mean, you know, stuff with Molly Holly and then beating him up, it was just kind of funny at the same time. But just that version. So I guess together would be the right answer.
Oh, yeah, it was awesome. He was a Cruiserweight champion for a long time, and the Dudley Boys like their bodyguards, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was a cool dynamic.
Yes, it did not last that long, but it was good enough, you know.
Yeah, no, I know.
I think the Dudley Boys turned on Spike Dudley, right, down the road on that.
I think he got released, and they never really. I don't think they didn't really like finish it up, which sucks because I thought it would have been really fun and cool.
They always do that kind of thing. Do you think he's a future Hall of Famer, Spike Dudley, or I know the Dudley Bar?
I don't know about that. That's a little bit of a stretch in my opinion.
Okay.
I mean, here's the thing. It's not up to me. It's not. It's not up to me. It's not up to, you know. It's not. It's hard to. It's really hard to argue who deserves it, or who. I guess let me rephrase that. I think it's harder to argue who does not deserve it versus who deserves it.
Yeah.
I think there are people, you know, who have etched their legacy in wrestling. I think you'll see the Dudleys as either a group or just Bubba and Devon. Because, to me, if someone's going to go in the Hall of Fame, it's for their memorable reason or a memorable career. They contributed something to the wrestling business that will, you know, be forever remembered. And if you take a look at a majority of the Hall of Famers, and obviously there are some major exceptions here, aka the celebrity wing, where, you know, for the most part, if you're I don't want to say casual fan, but if you're a decent enough wrestling fan, you've either heard of or know a majority of the people who are in the Hall of Fame.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Maybe not extensive knowledge, but you've heard of the name mentioned before. Like, I popped when Nick Bockwinkel was inducted years ago, and not too many people know who Nick Bockwinkel is, but I'm an old school fan, so I know exactly who he is, and I was very happy to hear him getting inducted. Rock and Roll Express getting inducted this year.
Yes.
Huge pop for that.
Kurt Angle.
Rick Rude, finally.
Yes, way overdue. Now, the thing I don't understand, is it up to the family, or is that, say, you want to be in the Hall of Fame?
That's part of the conversation we were having earlier, is that it's ultimately WWE's Hall of Fame.
Oh,
so it's ultimately their decision.
Oh, okay, got it.
But they do contact the people and say, like, hey, do you want to be in the Hall of Fame? And it's, if they say no, that ends that conversation.
That's why it's taking forever for Vader or whoever to be in the Hall of Fame, correct?
It's up to them to extend the olive branch. I mean, it's really their call. You know what I mean? Like to whether or not they want to, who they want to pick.
How many?
And at the same time, too, I'm sure there's probably a formula involved.
Yeah, how many guys are left or in the Hall of Fame? I mean,
that's the other part of it too. Is who's really left to be inducted? I mean, the big ones. Of course, the two big ones, of course, that everyone says instantly, and rightfully so, is Owen Smith and the British Bulldog.
Oh, yeah.
Owen Smith, excuse me. Owen Hart and Davey Boy Smith, my apologies. Those two definitely are the very top of the creme de la creme. I think Lex Luger will get his way in there. I am shocked that Miss Elizabeth has been not inducted yet, to be honest. I was actually thinking about that because, of course, I was arguing, or I shouldn't say arguing, but I was having a conversation with someone on Twitter about China. Of course, that's the big controversy.
But we don't know. But we know why, so that's why we know why she's not.
Well, it's just it is what it is, and I think a lot of us know, and we're not happy about it. But in any case, I think China will eventually be inducted into the Hall of Fame. I think they just need to wait a while. I could see them doing it next year. For 34, I could see them inducting her next year. Because then by then, the heat's died down.
What about Motorhead, the guy who did a theme song for Triple H last year? He should be.
Yeah, I think. Well, they haven't announced the celebrity inductee yet, right?
No, not yet.
Well, you could see him this year. I mean, shit, they put Snoop Dogg in last year, so you never know.
Yep. This guy deserves it. I don't give a damn. Anybody says he deserves it.
By the way, fun fact: if you go back and watch, I think it was WrestleMania. Yeah, it was WrestleMania 21. He forgot the theme song. He forgot the lyrics. He just fuck it and just started.
Really?
Yeah, go back and watch WrestleMania 21.
Are you talking about my DVD version or the network version?
And it doesn't matter.
Okay.
It does not matter. Because he tries to mask it. He just completely forgets the lyrics and just makes stuff up.
Wow.
It's funny.
Oh, speaking of that, probably you heard about that already this past Monday that they edited the Roman Reigns bruise on this past Monday Night Raw in Chicago.
Not the first time they've done editing magic. I mean...
I know, but isn't it like they wasted their freaking time? Just leave it as it is. Jesus, WWE. God damn it.
Well, they're trying to project this idea of Roman Reigns, and that's a goddamn discussion for an entire day.
Yeah, but if it's not working, quit trying it. You're killing a dead dog. You know what I'm trying to say?
It's funny you say that because here's the part of it that really baffles me. Okay, most of us don't like Roman Reigns. We don't like Roman Reigns because he's being shoved down our throats. He's being promoted as the top guy.
It's like John Cena 2.0.
I was about to say, where have I heard this before?
Yeah.
So, but here's the weird part. If WWE is attempting to make this guy the next big thing, the next big star, okay, I can at least understand them. I can at least applaud WWE for sticking to their guns and trying to keep. You know what I mean? I don't like it. But I can understand and respect them for at least sticking to their guns and saying, okay, we're gonna make him a babyface. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep pushing. We're gonna keep pushing. We're gonna keep pushing. But here's the weird factoid that I found after the Royal Rumble. So apparently, this is really fucking stupid. The reason the finish of the Royal Rumble was booked the way it was, I don't know if you remember this. It was Bray Wyatt, Roman Reigns, and Randy Orton.
Oh, you talking about this year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Roman eliminated Bray Wyatt, and then almost immediately right after, Randy Orton eliminated Roman Reigns.
Yes.
And I shit you not, the backstage reason why Randy Orton eliminated Roman Reigns was because they wanted a massive babyface reaction when Randy Orton won.
Oh, got it.
Which means you know he's getting booed. You can't use like ignorance anymore as an excuse. You don't give a shit. that's what I'm taking away from it. It's just like mind blowing. It's like, wow, so you know.
Yeah. But, I know WWE's just wasting time to say, they should say, you know what, this is not working, let's just make him heel. And nobody's not gonna...
They will not.
I know that, but me and you, if I know that, my friend, but if we work for WWE, you know what, fuck this shit. Just let it ride. Because, look it, Taker, nobody's not gonna boo Taker, right?
I don't know about that.
I'm not gonna boo him.
Well, no, I don't think anyone's going to... Well, I can't say that for certain. Here's the issue, is that WWE, sometimes their booking and logic is very confusing. Like, from a business perspective, I understand what they're trying to do. John Cena's on his way out, and if you don't see that, yes. It's clear as day. John Cena is on his way out of the company.
It's obvious.
Give it another. I'm curious to see what's going to happen the next 3 years. Like, like realistically, if you think about what John Cena's done on SmackDown, he's only been there since half the time since the brand split.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that he's on SmackDown. Like, we have to kind of like wrap our heads around this. Like, John Cena is not on the A show. He's not. Like, no matter. And I usually commonly agree with people about this. SmackDown is, in my opinion, has been consistently the better written show. Not saying all the time, but consistently has been a better show than Raw. And John Cena's not on that. John Cena's on SmackDown, not Raw. And they're trying to create a new top star to help create, the next wave of big guys because they see John Cena on his way out. So the concern is that if they do that, if they push Roman Reigns down our throat, and it's clearly backfiring, my fear is that they have no one to take that place, and that boils down to a common problem that I think WWE has in terms of the way they strategize their marketing, is that they put it all on one person. You know what I mean? And for the most part, that's usually worked. Hulk Hogan, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, John Cena. But at some point, you're going to be left into a situation and where you're going to need a top draw or draws. And you need to kind of lean more on one than the other because it's going to get stale quick, especially in the modern time. But
big time.
But you know what I mean? Like, instead of having it like, oh, it's still this guy on top, it's still this guy as champion. Just split it between 4 guys. Build 4 guys for your company, and then just have it be focused on those 4 individuals.
Probably that's why everybody hates Raw with the passion, you know what I'm saying? But I am not going to give up on Raw. Eventually, it's going to change, hopefully, but I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah. We'll
see.
They need some new writers. They should bring the guy who's doing Raw, SmackDown, he should do both shows, and maybe it will work out better, Well,
the reason SmackDown is very vastly differently booked than Raw is because I believe, I know they have at least one, but I believe they have maybe 2 writers from NXT.
Yes.
That's why.
Well, they should do that, and then another thing is, SmackDown 2 hours, and we know, because sponsorship, nothing's hurting SmackDown, but it's hurting Raw 3 hours. That is a buzzkill, you know what I'm saying?
I think that's part of the problem, but I don't think it's the end-all, be-all.
No.
I think legitimately, because here's the thing. I'll be totally honest with you, this past week, Raw, pretty solid.
Yeah, finally.
Not bad at all. So you have the ability to make good stuff.
But they don't want to sometimes,
That's the bigger annoyance with me, is that you have... Shit, they have the Cruiserweight division.
Yes.
They have the Cruiserweight division on Raw. What's the excuse?
I don't know.
I don't understand here. Give me the book. I know exactly how I would book this thing, and I'll be completely honest with you, it'd be a little formulaic, but fuck, it would at least get us through these major humps.
Yes.
If it was me in charge of Raw, I would advertise at the top of the 9 o'clock hour, you would have your Cruiserweight match. At the top of the 10 o'clock hour, you would have your women's match.
Oh, right away?
Huh?
Right away, on the Cruiserweight match, right away? Kick off the show?
No. So, I'm sorry, we had this argument before. We have time zone differences.
Yeah.
So, the opening of Raw, you have your opening segment, promo, match, whatever, where you set up whatever's going to happen throughout the rest of the show, right? So then that's so it's Raw for us, for me anyway, is from 8 to 11.
Okay, got it.
So at 8 o'clock, you have your opening segment and help set up whatever the show is. Like maybe there's a match, maybe there's a stipulation, maybe there's a contract signing, whatever the fuck it is. That sets it up for the tone of the show. And you do sprinkle teases throughout the show. We see like a backstage segment or blah, blah, blah. The 9 o'clock hour, so the top of the first hour, cruiserweight match. Guaranteed every single fucking week. 10 o'clock hour, so 1 hour after that, women's match. Title, whatever. The women's division is on point at the 10 o'clock hour. And then you just stretch it out for the last hour until you get to the main segment. There you go. It's a little formulaic.
Yeah.
But the key interest is that you could create enough intrigue and interest from the cruiserweights and the women's where you could, reinvigorate the audience to get them through that third hour, as opposed to flip-flopping it around and not sure where to, to me, the top hours is probably the biggest, the 3 hours is a hurdle to watch anything, let alone a weekly show. So, in order to combat, being stagnant and just losing interest, if you can advertise that the top two, the middle 2 hours, will have, I know we're going to get this and this, it builds anticipation and something to look forward to. You know what I mean?
Yes. And, see here, and it'd be a little different. And, see, my Raw starts at, 7 o'clock until 10. Yours from 11, because you and I have different time zone,
Right.
Are you a fan when they go a little over, 5 minutes over lately on Raw?
It depends. I don't give a shit about the time frame.
Okay.
I'm just, for me, it's more of, just keeping interest.
Yeah.
You're running a 3-hour show, so to me the biggest concern, and this isn't necessarily wrestling. This is just any television program that would be 3 hours long every single fucking week.
Yeah.
Is stagnation. How can you keep someone's interest for 3 hours?
I know, right?
It's really
hard.
It's really tough. I mean, people barely do it for movies. Movies aren't usually that long.
No.
I think the last one I knew about was the Lord of the Rings and the Titanic shit. But the point being is that it's hard to keep. It's hard to keep that. It's hard to keep someone's interest for 3 hours. So my point was, it's not creative or different. It's just keeping your attention. So what's the best way to keep your attention? Well, if you tell me, hey, at the top of every 9 o'clock, at the top of the first hour, and the top of the second hour, you're guaranteed these two segments. We know this is what's going to happen. It's going to get to this. It builds some sort of anticipation. You can kind of stomach through some crappy segments, or get through okay, I know we're going to get through this, but the cruiserweights are next, or we're going to get through this, but the women's are next. You at least have something to look forward to, as opposed to just going through 3 hours I wonder what's going to happen. Really not a whole, not 100% sure. And 9 times out of 10, it's usually a letdown. So.
Okay, our next discussion is, were you a fan? And he's a great manager called Slick Rick, and probably you remember him back in the day, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he was great on the mic. I think he's a Hall of Famer, correct?
Are you talking about manager Slick?
Yeah.
I thought he was inducted in the Hall. No, he was not. No.
No?
He was not. He hasn't been. Has he been inducted?
I don't know.
I can't remember now. Shit.
I can't keep track.
What's that?
I can't keep track of these wrestlers and managers. I can't keep track. Too many.
I have to look this up now, because now you got me confuddled and confused.
Sorry, Mike.
I feel like he. Well, I can't remember if he was inducted in the Hall. I don't think he has been.
Wow.
Oh no, he inducted Big Boss Man last year. That was
it. Is he a?
That was it. Yeah,
do you think he's a Hall of Famer?
I think so.
Okay.
I definitely think so.
What's he doing lately anyway? Is he doing still autographs somewhere?
I don't think. It doesn't look like it. I think he's just kind of doing his own thing now. So.
Do you think he's gonna be part of Access or anything like that? Nothing.
I doubt it. Usually, Access is reserved for current stars and a couple of the Hall of Famers.
Oh,
so,
got it. Or he might do a WrestleCon, right? That kind of thing.
Possibly. I mean, WrestleCon is amazing. WrestleCon's such a blast.
I think from you, it's a lot cheaper than Access, correct?
No, it's usually more expensive, but
Oh,
it's
is it?
worth it.
Oh.
Yeah, well, here's why. See, WrestleCon, okay, within Access, you have the opportunity to meet all your wrestlers.
Correct.
However, if you're looking to meet the top stars, the true top icons, and the big guns,
I take and all that?
yeah, you'd have to get like a VIP package, and
Yes.
that's going to set you back $200 a person.
Yes.
So there's that. If you want to risk it and go for it, go for it.
Yeah.
But more chances than not, you probably need the VIP.
Yeah.
WrestleCon has more overall wrestlers, but they charge individually. So
Oh, really?
Yes. So you pay less to get in, but each individual wrestler has their own price tag.
Okay, can you give me an example of that about that real quick?
Yeah. So for example, at WrestleMania Access, it'd be like I don't know, $50 to $100 to get in.
Okay.
And the wrestlers are free, but the chances of you meeting the high-profile ones are very low. There's massive lines.
Oh yeah.
Et cetera and so forth. Whereas WrestleCon, I think it was like a $30 charge to get in.
Not bad.
But every wrestler that you met was probably anywhere between $10 to $20 to $30, depending on autograph, photo, off, or both.
You pay them cash or what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So can you meet like Hall of Famers from back in the day?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
At WrestleCon this past year that I went to, I met Abyss, Eddie Edwards, Vince Russo, Bill Apter. The big one was Lanny Poffo.
Oh wow.
And Tully Blanchard from the Four Horsemen.
Now, I mean, do they have? Of course, they have merchandise in front of them, right? In the table, merchandise.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, they have merchandise for sale as well.
Were they all nice guys, or one of them were in the band who don't want to talk to you?
Every person I had an interaction with was absolutely positive, absolutely grateful, and like it was just the key thing to just whenever you meet a wrestler, just be respectful, polite, and courteous like you would anybody else.
Yes.
That's all. As long as you do that, you're fine. It's when you become a dick or you try to, do something they don't like or whatever have you, then there's issues. But as long as you're polite, respectful, and courteous, you're fine.
Okay. So, yeah, I think, Slick or Rick, I think that's the name, right? Is it Slick?
No, just Slick.
Okay,
Slick.
What did I say, Slick? Or maybe I think I wrote Ric Flair because that was...
Possibly.
Okay. Yeah, he was pretty good in the 80s, wasn't he? He was very popular in the 80s and 90s? Okay. That's when WWE had a lot of managers back in the day, then they finally got rid of them back in the, I forgot when they got rid of them. I think the Attitude Era they got rid of them, right?
Yeah, they dwindled them down in the 90s.
Okay. Do you wish they brought them back or not really?
It depends.
I'm talking about not old managers, I'm talking about new managers they can use, you know?
Yeah, no, I know. It depends. Because, to be honest with you, managers, it depends on the person.
Okay. I think Roman Reigns needs a manager.
I think it depends on the circumstances and what you're trying to achieve.
Got it.
The problem with wrestling managers, and I shouldn't say problem, but a hurdle that they have to overcome, is you have to project something, and it's all about the guy. It's not about the manager, it's about the guy. So the manager's job is to make the wrestler look more important, as a bigger star than anybody else. And I think the 80s, you had amazing, talented wrestlers between Slick, Freddie Blassie, Grand Wizard, Lou Albano, of course, Bobby Heenan, Jimmy Hart. Like you had these legendary wrestling managers who did that exceptionally well.
Jim Cornette.
Jim Cornette's another great example. I love Jim Cornette. So there's a lot of great guys who can do that, and unfortunately, that's a tough thing to do.
Yeah.
Heyman does it very, very well, and they're able to manipulate that and do that the right way.
Yes.
I think Vicky Guerrero. I'm just thinking modern term here. I think Vicky Guerrero did a decent job when she was with Ziggler at the time, and then Edge. Just decent, because sometimes it's hard. You have to find a balance with that. I think Lana does it beautifully, although sometimes people do gravitate towards Lana more than Rusev, but handsome Rusev, excuse me. But It's a tough call. It's really difficult because I've done it before. I've been a manager.
Anyway, speaking of Russo, what's your thoughts on this whole backstage thing because of the haircut? He needs a permission to get a haircut now?
Oh, Rusev?
Yeah. He needs permission. Why?
Well, here's the funny thing. So WWE owns a lot of trademark and proper intellectual property rights when it comes to the wrestlers, and so let me give you an example of what. So they get very upset when you suddenly change things without notifying them, like physically, because who you are, your body, and your character are your whole thing. So let me give you an example. Huh?
So similar what happened to Marie. She was black and then she dyed red, and WWE didn't like that at first, right?
Well, no. I think she's either wearing a wig or extensions or something because she can change it back and forth.
Oh.
But here's an example. Let's say Rusev was about to. Let's say Rusev has a action figure that's coming out on March 2nd.
Okay.
And on March 1st, he goes and gets the haircut.
Got it.
Do you see how that would screw things up for them?
For him or for the company?
For the company.
Oh.
So they create this action figure, do all this time and editing and this sculpting and get his image down perfectly. And just as they're about to unveil this brand new action figure that people can buy, he gets a haircut.
Oh. But with that, I mean, for me, it don't matter. I think it looks good for me.
No, I completely agree. I love the new hairdo, but my point is that WWE gets a little upset about when you make changes like that to your character without letting them know, so that they can make any sort of proper marketing creations and just it's more work for them because you're altering your appearance.
Okay. So that's why he lost to the Big Show, because they're punishing Russo.
Maybe I've heard rumors about that. I have no idea. So.
I really like to see the inside scoop about if these rumors are true or not. If these wrestlers are get backstage heat, you know what I'm saying?
I've heard Rusev was taking time off, and that's why they squashed him.
Oh, okay. Again? You taking time off?
Hey, I mean, to be honest with you, I think now's a good time more than ever for him to take some time off. To my opinion, he was getting stagnant. He was doing the whole thing with Jinder Mahal. That wasn't really going anywhere.
Nope.
I think because of him not having a major moment at WrestleMania, I honestly think that this is a great time for Rusev to take some time off.
So he's not going to be at Mania at all, is he?
Probably, if he's taking time off, no.
Okay.
I mean, to be honest with you, I think that would be a smart. I think for the longevity of his career, I think that taking time off now is a smart move, because what you can do is you can bring him back and you just have a monster push when he comes back. See, that's the thing, is that with wrestlers and wrestling, the reason guys stay so relevant and so fresh is because they get hurt and they take time off, and they're out of sight, out of mind. So when they come back, they get that massive pop. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I think Rusev taking time off is just a smart move.
Can you picture, real quick before we go into all the subject, do you think he'd be a champion? I mean, I know he was USA champion, US. Do you think he'll be Universal champion, or if he goes to SmackDown?
I would love to see Rusev as Universal champion, to be totally honest with you. You could, in theory, you can make anyone champion, as long as you book it right.
Yes.
But Rusev's got the look, he's got the heat, he's got the ability. I definitely could see him doing that. I would love to see him honestly get even a brief run.
Yeah.
As Universal champion, you know what I mean? So.
Okay. Yes. Hey, never say never, but if that's gonna happen, probably most likely he's got to win the Rumble, that kind of thing, or maybe Money in the Bank or something like that.
If I was them, I would do it right around Survivor Series.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, because that's usually their lower time frame.
Or do it at SummerSlam.
Yeah, you could.
But we'll see what happens. But I don't know if you heard this, but McMahon wants to split up Lana and Russo. I don't know if you heard about that rumor.
I did not, and
yeah.
I don't know why they would.
Because they want Russo to do his own thing, and they want Lana to do his own thing. But Lana says...
Oh, okay. I thought you meant put them on different rosters.
No. But they want... But Lana says they want as a team, you know what I'm saying? The fans love them as a team, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I understand.
But we'll see what happens. But I really like to see. I don't know if you want to see. I really like to see a microphone backstage and see how McMahon really reacts about these wrestlers get heated. But that would be bad for business, you know.
Of course.
I love to see that. Would you like to see that?
Yes and no.
Okay.
I think that there's only so much of the curtain.
Yeah. A lot of people will complain on Twitter and say, they should bring back McMahon on TV. That's not going to happen, probably.
No, the Mr. McMahon character is done.
Yeah.
100% done.
Yeah.
So.
That should have been done years ago. They overplayed it so many times. Attitude Era, and...
There's not much, there's nothing else you can really do with it, to be totally honest.
Yep, you're right. And then Linda is not going to come back because she's part of the Donald Trump now. She's done.
Yeah, it's done and over with.
So, I don't know. And I think, my opinion, I think Shane O'Mac is better brains than Stephanie. I know they got different ideas, you know?
Yeah.
Another thing is, were you a fan of Skinner back in the day? I know he's like a very, very unique character, you know?
Wait, who's that?
Skinner.
Skinner?
Yeah.
I don't know who you're referring to.
Skinner from WWE, or F. Skinner, the guy who used to kill alligators. That gimmick Skinner, that wrestler.
Nah, not really.
You never heard of him?
No, I know who you're referring to. I just, not really a huge fan.
Okay, so his gimmick was not that great in the WWF. WWF has
I remember who you're talking about now. Yeah,
the guy who did like spit tobacco and all that stuff. That him?
Yeah,
I mean, he did not have no major feuds. The only feud I could think of, him and Bret Hart, nothing magical. But off the record, back in WWF, they had a lot of bogus gimmicks back in the day. It was awful.
Yeah, I mean, it was more cartoony back then.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
So, I was not a big fan of Skinner, and probably he'll never be in Hall of Fame. I know he made some easy money.
No, probably not.
It's sad how WWE back in the day had some great talent, and some of them were just dog shit, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you gotta break a few eggs to make an omelet.
Pretty much, but what am I say? I don't know what's he doing now. I don't know. Probably could see him at WrestleCon or some bullshit, you know? I don't know.
Never know.
So, let me see here. I know we mentioned this last year about Dallas. How big was that screen in seeing it live? Was it pretty awesome? Big jumbo screen?
It was pretty massive. I mean, we were 12th row ringside.
Okay.
So it was hard because we didn't see it as well as other people did, but that thing was gigantic.
Oh, wow.
I think it was pretty massive.
Did you, I think you mentioned it, or some other people, the tickets go inside was a total fuck up, and it was a big old problem, correct?
Well, it was a problem because they didn't open up enough gates in time, and then they
that was
open
stupid.
up, the lower. Yeah, it was a cluster. So I ended up, personally for me, I ended up missing the first two matches from the pre-show, which was Kalisto Ryback for the U.S. title and the 10 Divas tag team match.
Did that bother you?
A little bit. I was more bothered that I missed the U.S. title match because that's the only one I really gave a shit about because there was a championship involved. Other than that,
Another thing is off the record. Probably you heard about Finn Balor. I guess he's at a house show or.
Yes.
That's good. Yep. So do you think there's a possibility they might squeeze him in for Mania, or is it too late for that kind of stuff?
I think they're gonna try and put him for WrestleMania.
Okay.
To be honest, why? Because at this point, why not?
Yeah. I think it's gonna be like last year's. You know, he's not gonna have a match. He's just gonna have like a run-in with somebody. Do you think it's gonna be like that, or official match? Do you think?
I think they're gonna. That's a tough call. It could be either way. I mean, WWE could do two things. They could either wait for him to show up at the Raw for WrestleMania, which I think would honestly have a bigger impact. But if they wanted to just stack the card, they would have him at WrestleMania and probably be involved with the Seth Rollins Triple H thing.
Now, if you were what do you prefer? Do you think? I mean, would you like to see this? I mean, most likely we're gonna see Seth Rollins versus Triple H, right, at Mania, or this is just a big old smoke?
I think it's gonna be a call out. I don't think it's gonna be an actual match.
Oh, yeah. So do you think the match is actually gonna take place at SummerSlam? Correct?
I don't know. It's a hard thing to say. Excuse me. I think that if they if Seth comes back in time and they're able to carry things through, I think that I think there's money to make in a SummerSlam match. I think that would be because you could have Joe versus Seth carry through the summer. I think pull it off so I mean, there's potential.
Okay.
But yeah, you can see. I would love to see that because I'm trying to go to SummerSlam.
Do you think? Yeah. Do you think any of these I don't know if you saw me on Twitter. Do you think Taker versus Roman will have a stipulation, or do you think it'll be a normal match?
No, well, if they did, it'd probably be like no holds barred or something like that. Although I have heard rumors that it might be for Taker's career, and it might be the last time we see Taker.
Okay, so nothing spectacular like a Buried Alive or something like that, you know?
No.
Man.
No.
I still want. Oh, by the way, how was that Hell in a Cell live? Was that cool?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Now I know they had like a little a cushion for Shane O'Mac. Did you see it or no? Like a little
what?
Like a when he jumped off the Hell in a Cell, they had like a little pillow or something to cushion his fall. Did you see that?
No, there's no pillow or cushion whatsoever.
No?
No.
Oh, because somebody told me that there were underneath
Okay. No. I was there live. There was no pillow, no cushion.
Okay.
The table broke his fall, but there was no padding or anything like that. No.
Okay. How close were you to his fall? Was it good seats on that area?
I was like I said, I was 12 seats away.
Okay.
So it was pretty lucky.
Okay.
But that was legit.
So overall, that match was not that great. Just that Shane O'Mac just did an awesome moment for Mania, right? That match was okay, right? Live.
What's that?
That match between Shane O'Mac and Taker. That match was okay because it took forever to get going.
Yeah, no, I was hoping for this year, but oh well.
What do you mean this year? You want this year to happen until last year?
What, Taker versus...
Oh, Shane O'Mac, that's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were saying something else.
No.
No, I was going to say, I thought you said Taker Cena for some reason.
No.
Yeah, no, I would have preferred Taker Cena this year, to be honest.
Yeah, they screwed it up. I mean, for me, I'm glad it's not happening because they did it a couple years ago, back in 03, but I know Taker's a veteran and John Cena is a veteran, and I am not really... of course, this is going to happen in the mixed tag. So what the hell, W? I'm not really feeling it, you know?
Maybe, I don't know.
Are you feeling it if it does happen? Of course it's going to happen, probably.
What?
The mixed tag, John Cena and Nikki versus...
oh, yeah. No, actually, I like that.
Really? A lot of people say, what the hell, you know? But what... I mean, what can all John Cena do? I mean, if W was smart... He should never... I mean, actually, he should have won the belt at the Rumble, keep it at Elimination Chamber, lose it at the Mania, and then gain it back down the road. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm just a fan like you are too. But I guess they have their own opinion, and I don't know. How close? How many years do you think John Cena has left in his WWE career? If you
3.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Is that just a guess, or you just think?
That's a guess.
Okay.
That's just a guess.
So I think this Hall of Fame class looks pretty good. I think so.
So far, so good. I mean, we'll see what else. But
I know a lot of people are bitching because Beth Phoenix is in it, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I get why, but Yeah, I think it's a solid class, to be honest with you.
I think Victoria should be in it, but whatever.
You never know. Wait till next year.
Do you think it's possible they could have 2 ladies in the Hall of Fame this year, or is that be kind of mushing it?
I think that would break their formula, but you never say never. There are people who have been inducted in the Hall of Fame we never thought we'd see.
Yeah. But are you a fan of 2 wrestlers in 2 different kinds? Like Ric Flair did it once, and he did it twice. You know what I'm saying? That's not really fair.
Because it's all about the contributions to
the company,
the business.
Okay,
to the business. So I mean, he deserves respect for what he did individually, and also what he did as a member of the Four Horsemen. You can't induct the fucking Four Horsemen without Ric Flair.
That's true. That's true. So I'm assuming they can do the NWO one too, right? With Hogan.
Wait, say that again.
With the NWO with Hogan.
Yeah.
As a.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the NWO will be inducted. So.
Okay, so this rumor is that WWE wants to bring in Hogan for Mania. I mean, just for a run-in or maybe for a moment. You heard about that?
I've heard that yet. Just say you never know.
That'd be cool. That's what WWE needs. They need a big spark from a veteran, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised
And
if Hogan shows up. So you never, like I said, you never know. You have to keep your eyes peeled for WrestleMania.
And the bad part is about WWE, they always gotta bring these veterans in because these guys, the young guys, are not really kind of much for. I mean, it is, but not for the older fans. The newer fans, they love it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think Hogan's a big enough name that everyone would recognize. You know what I mean?
Hey, what's your thoughts on that? Before I let you go, what's your thoughts on that Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt feud? I love it. The storyline is awesome, isn't it? Gold.
I think it's really good. I think this past week was a little stagnant, but I think that if it depends on what they do next week, I think that's really what's gonna, really set it over the top. In my opinion, it depends on what happens next.
Yes, and then how Randy Orton burned the cabin, that was fucking gold.
What the fuck, man? Like
that was gold. I loved it.
Hey, arson.
Yeah.
Ta-da.
Hello. I know, but wasn't it cool?
What's that?
Wasn't it awesome he did that?
Oh, it was. I'm just like, wow, that just escalated extremely quickly.
Yeah, but I wonder where they located at. I mean, that building. I mean, is that the same building they first debuted, the Wyatts, or is it a different thing?
I have no idea.
Okay. Now, what's your thoughts on this wrestler passed away? Ron Bass? That's sad. He passed away, huh?
Yeah.
No,
it's always tragic when you have a legend that passes away.
And of course, everyone's gonna bash drugs, heart attack, or natural causes. You know.
I think it was natural, but
Okay, I don't know him, but it's sad, you know.
Yeah.
And then probably you heard about this, Tony, the former announcer for WCW. He regrets leaving WWF. You heard about that?
Tony Schiavone. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wish he came back. That'd be nice.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I guess Michael Cole's gonna do backstage now, huh?
He's leaning more towards it. He's leaning more towards a backstage role. So
that's fine by me. I wonder who's gonna take over for Raw.
Never know. Never say never. But we'll see how things go. But it's interesting.
Well, I'm gonna let you go. You wanna close this off? Go ahead, man. Take it away.
Sure, of course. You guys know me. I'm Connor, aka OKFabe. You can follow me on Twitter at OKFabe, Facebook.com/OKFaber. Check out the YouTube channel. Of course, YouTube.com/OKFaber as well. And that's pretty much the big ones, folks.
Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And I'll send you, when this is done, probably inbox you on Facebook or Twitter. When you get a chance, send me your information on Facebook, and I will put it in the discussion box, Connor, okay?
Sounds good.
Have a good one, and all my links down below. Thanks very much, man. It has been a while, man.
I know.
Okay, good night, and you take care, my friend.
Peace.
Peace out.